Let's do this. The Cult of Hockey podcast by Faithful. David of the Edmonton Journal, and I'm here tonight with Bruce McCurdy. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, David, how you doing tonight?
Good. Good. It was what is it, a 4-3 overtime win? Edmonton won
5-4.
5-4. All right, there you go.
5-4.
The first mistake. There will be others. I was at the game, so it kind of flows over you. You know, it's different
I do.
at the game. You're not as up on the details of the game, even the score apparently. But it was an interesting game, which started out very poorly for the Oilers, but they came on and they made a game of it. So let's all raise a glass of milk to the Oilers and get on with this podcast. Two good things, two bad things, and two numbers, Bruce. Why don't you start it off with your good thing in this game?
Yeah, well, I think my good thing is just the Oilers continue to battle back in this game. After starting off atrociously, down 2-0 in the first 3 minutes, down 8-0 in shots after the first 8 minutes. And I had visions of game 56 against Vancouver last year when Edmonton mailed it in the last regular season game. And then proceeded to not win another game for the entire rest of the season. And I was thinking, this isn't good. This isn't good. You know, I was just kind of antsy about it, knowing the game meant nothing. And it was clear the team also knew it meant nothing. And yet somehow they found somehow. I mean, obviously they have more than one more gear to give than they gave in those early going. But they were able to give a crap meter to get involved in this game. And actually raise the physicality level, which I didn't expect. I frankly expected it to be a complete no-hitter. And then guys like Brett Kulak, for instance, started laying on the body a little bit. And
Ryan McLeod got a hit.
Ryan McLeod I counted 3 hard hits by Ryan McLeod, and he's officially credited with 3 hits. And I think they caught the same 3 I did. They were all actual purpose hits. Like he meant to actually not just bump the guy at the end of finish the check, but to lay a lick on a guy, and he did it 3 times. And guys like McLeod, Kulak, and numerous others seemed to just sort of pull Edmonton back into competing, which is really what they needed to do. And at the end of the night, they competed hard enough to come back from 3 different deficits, 2-0, 3-2, 4-3, and finally finish the job in overtime on their 3rd great chance in overtime. They finally put it away on a goal by surprise hero Zach Hyman.
Yeah, the executioner shot by Zach Hyman there. He harpoons that one right in the net. What a beautiful shot. I didn't think, when they got down 2-0, and the way they got down 2-0, of course, you know, the first goal is Koskinen and Philip Broberry failed to have a Vulcan mind meld on that play, because it was I don't know. Koskinen needs to communicate to his defenseman if he's going to pass the puck or something. Like it seemed like he should just have covered that puck up, honestly.
He needed to freeze the puck.
He needed to freeze the puck, and he didn't do it. And then it's in the net a few seconds later. And then the next goal, of course, it's a turnover by Keith. Not a nice looking turnover. And then the puck gets sent into the slot, and it goes off Bouchard's skate. So it's like within the first 4 minutes of the game, they're down 2-0 on 2 crud hole goals. I mean, it was just not good at all. But like you say, Bruce, and then you know, they battle back to tie it up. And of course, they get the 3-2 goal. San Jose's on the Californian, right? They got to get it. Point shot from Brent Burns, tipped into the net. But the Oilers they came back with a few kind of goals like that of their own. So
they got one Californian for sure. The
Oilers did. Yeah, they did. It was who shot that one? It was the Ryan tip where Fogle was in front of the net. Was that Barry? Tyson Barry shot that one. And that was the 4-4. No, the 3-3 goal.
3-3. That was the 3-3.
Yeah, that was 3-3. Yeah. So return Californian, return serve on that goal. We call it the Californian because that's the kind of goals that typically California teams have scored against the Oilers for eons, it seems, for centuries, many centuries of this kind of goal against the Oilers. The point shot followed by the tip and into the Oilers net. The Oilers are scoring many more of those goals themselves. But I think they won this game on skill, Bruce. Their dominant skill took over at key times in the game. And my good thing is one of those plays. It's the 4-4 goal. And this is a moment that rookie Oilers defenseman Philip Broberry will remember the rest of his life. Because not only did he score a tying goal, it's not a big game, a tying goal in a game. It was his first goal, and it was set up by Connor McDavid. The play starts out, it's kind of the virtuous cycle with Puljujarvi and Kane passing back and forth the puck. And then Puljujarvi chips it to McDavid, who slashes out into the traffic, into the slot, and finds Broberry in the kind of mid slot area. And he just a gorgeous, delicious kind of shot that beats the goalie clean. It was a fabulous goal for your first goal in the NHL.
Awesome.
And so good for him. He has about, I think 2 points for every 3 AHL games that he's been playing this year. It's a pretty
3
good
for 4, actually 23 points in 31 games.
It's a pretty good percentage for a rookie 20-year-old defenseman in the AHL. He had his shaky moments in this game.
Yes.
Looked like honestly, on one shift, it looked like there was something wrong with his skate. He was having trouble moving around the ice, and he almost got in trouble. But there's lots to like about this player. He's big, lanky. He can really skate, and he's got some offensive moves. Like, I think once he gets some confidence at the NHL level, which he has none, essentially,
Right.
he's just playing. He's just hanging in there right now. He's just feeling his way through the games. Once he does get some confidence, there is a good player there, and that was a nice thing to get the fans on his side in Edmonton, which is always important for any rookie defenseman, because the fans can turn against that kind of player fast.
Well, I'll say a nice first NHL goal, and I mean, it was set up by a great assist by Connor McDavid, but Broberry can tell his grandchildren in 50 years' time or whatever that it wasn't just a great play by McDavid for an easy tap in. It was a great play by McDavid to set him up in the high slot, and he buried a shot past James Reimer, a solid, proven NHL goaltender.
Yeah.
That left him a sliver of space on the short side post, and he just rifled it in there. That was a great shot from top of the circle. And I mean, he had a very good look thanks to McDavid, but he converted that look into a goal, courtesy his own excellent shot. So good on you, Philip Broberry.
Philip Broberry. Yeah, I was in a corporate box tonight. My friend Dan Woodruff, he's a longtime chartered accountant in the city for PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they gave him the box because he's going to be retiring soon.
Oh yeah.
And
nice.
Anyway, everyone in the box, a few people in the box were teasing me for us calling him Broberry on the podcast. But that's his name, so we will pronounce
well, then we'll turn around and tease Jack Michaels for calling Pavel Buchnevich. Pavel Buchnevich. So you try and get these European names right, and all it does is get you in trouble.
All it does is get you in trouble. No one likes the effort. Probably not even Philip Broberry. So yeah, I mean it's tempting, of course, to go with the last goal, Bruce. The overtime winning goal was also spectacular, but I just think that was a really memorable play, and yes. I'll remember that. We've been watching Philip Broberry develop. Just nice to see him get that. That was great. Your bad thing, Bruce.
Yeah, well, I got to go with the defense pairing of Duncan Keith and Evan Bouchard, who had a ridiculously bad first period,
yes.
and gradually got it together and stopped giving up 10-bill chances after that. But they were in chase mode for much of the game, and they just didn't really seem to have their to be on the same page defensively. You described the early goal by Noah Gregor off the turnover by Keith, and then deflected in by Bouchard. And then there was 3 more later in the period where I assigned just 2 errors on grade A chances, and it was the same two guys three times. I think two were right in a row, and then the third one was a completely distinct play again. And it wasn't just the grade A chances, but the shots on net. Evan Bouchard played 18 minutes at even strength, and the shots on net were 2 for Edmonton and 19 for San Jose. And yet somehow Edmonton came out of that even at 1 goal for and 1 goal against. And same for Duncan Keith with 3 for 19 against in the same 1-1. And just absolutely buried, like 5 scoring chances to 19 for Bouchard. And they were just an adventure in their own end. Bouchard did make some stuff happen in the good end. He got an assist on McLeod's power play goal on a decent outside shot. He got he rang the post on an outside shot of his own in the third period. But on the defensive side, he was a mess in this game, and his veteran partner did not bail him out very much. Let's put it that way. And it was a rough game for those guys.
You know, it's funny because when you're at the game, it's easy to miss stuff like that. Like honestly, it is. And I saw the play on the first goal, but the other stuff, you kind of have a vague sense that things are happening. They're happening fast. There was a lot of scoring chances in that game. What's your preliminary count there, Bruce? 20 to 14, I think, for the Oilers in grade A shot. 20 to 14, and then 13 to 8 for 5 alarm shots for the Oilers. So the Oilers deserve to win this one.
Despite the 44-31 margin in actual shots on net by the Sharks, the Oilers did create the better opportunity in the fullness of time, but it sure took them pretty much half the game to really get involved in it on the offensive side of things.
Because the impression left from Bouchard from being there, at least my impression, was just how exciting it is to see that guy shoot the puck.
Yes.
And you're just hoping whenever he's out there on the power play or in the offensive end that the other guys are going to find him for a shot. And to give Duncan Keith credit, he really does look for him continually. Like it's kind of job one for Duncan Keith, and he often finds him. And Bouchard got a number of very threatening shots on net. And can he ever drill that puck?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not quite Al McInnes. It's not quite that, but it's not that far off. It's not that far off. He really fires the puck. Like I remember Stefan Pearson and Denny Potvin. They were another couple of guys who could really kill that puck from the blue line. And Pearson had a great shot there. Although I think they were more wrist shotters, shotters, if I recall correctly.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Potvin had a fantastic wrist shot.
Yeah. So it's funny because your impression, and I trust your impression much more than mine. You've done the video analysis. Like sometimes we give our game grades and people say, well, you must have watched a different game than I did. And I think, yeah, we did.
we watched it a different way.
We watched it in a very different way than you're watching it. You're going over the highlights. You're looking at all the scoring chances. You're really digging into it as the game's going along. It takes a little bit more time, but it does give you a different impression of the game. My bad thing, Bruce, was in the third period, Zach Kassian was going down the wing, and Milosh, the defenseman for San Jose, made a very reckless play, hacking him in the face. And this is just a fear. I have no idea what happened, but it looked like he might have got hit in the eye. And from his reaction, that's what I was kind of gathering. Like it just to get hit in the face the way he did. He's a tough guy. You can get hit unless a bone broke in his face, which is also a possibility. He's had some problems with that. I think this year, right? He's had a broken bone in his face, correct?
This is his third distinct head injury in this season. He took a punch in the preseason game, and then he took a shot in the face that broke his cheekbone.
Yeah.
A slap shot that hit him in the face and put him out for a month. And then now who knows how long he's out for, but he missed the end of this game with a real wicked smack in the side of the head at minimum.
Yeah, it could
and
be
you
the
just hope it
cheekbone
didn't get him
again.
in the eye.
Could be the
Yeah.
cheek. You hope he didn't get him in the eye because he doesn't wear a visor because he's got to fight, and on it goes.
Hmm.
So the life of the NHL player is not. He makes a lot of money, but man, that guy takes it. It's a tough job that he's got being one of the guys who fights for the Oilers.
Hmm.
And he would have otherwise had a visor on, and he didn't, and he got smacked in the face. Uh, your number, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm going to use fingers and toes. My numbers are 5, 10, and 20. 5 being the number of 20 goal scorers on the Edmonton Oilers now after tonight's game. Leon Draisaitl, 55, Connor McDavid, 44, Zach Hyman, 27, Vander Kane, 22, Kyler Yamamoto, the latest entry in the 20 goal club, with his 20th on a beauty of a play on a counterattack with fabulous setup by Leon Draisaitl. And Yamamoto was able to squeeze the puck through James Reimer on the short side and into the net for his 20th goal. And this was mere 3 minutes or so after he got his 20th assist of the season. So good on you, Kyler Yamamoto, to hit the double 2020 milestone in the same period right at the end of the season. That's good for him, and it's also good for his contract negotiation, which is, you know, so it goes. I mean, good on him for getting to 20. And then the 10 is the Oilers have 10 players now who scored 10 goals on the season, with the 10th entry on that list being number 10, Derek Ryan, who tipped home a shot from the slot in the third period to tie the game at 3-3. Got a couple of lucky bounces there. It looked like it might have hit Warren Fogle, but it didn't on the way through, although you can bet I credited Fogle for his effort on the edge of
Yeah,
the crease. That goal would not
yeah.
have happened without him doing his mucking and grinding in there. So 10 goal scorers, 5 goal scorers. I've not yet had a chance to go through and see when was the last time Edmonton Oilers were able to do this as a team, but my guess is a while. And,
I wonder if in 2005-06 they came close to that.
yeah, probably so. They had a deep team, and that's kind of what you need to get, 10 times 10. And they got two other guys sitting on 9. Ryan McLeod got his ninth tonight, and Darnell Nurse, it looks like he's destined to finish the season at 9. But a nice depth of scoring on the team.
That's right. If Nurse hadn't gotten hurt, he would probably could well be in that in the running. I'm just looking at the 2005-06 Oilers goals.
I'm on the right page for that. And they had 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them, with Michael Pekka and Marty Reisner knocking on the door with 9 goals each. So
And they
they
have
had
4 guys above 20, and they had a 19 goal scorer in Hemsky and an 18
right.
goal scorer in Pisani. Anyway, so that
So
was a
they're
fairly deep team too, right? And
yeah, so they're equivalent to that. Other than that team did not have a 55 goal or even a 44 goal man like Draisaitl and McDavid. So, and then in 2016-17, I think they had 5 20-goal men. McDavid, Draisaitl, Maroon, Lucic, and Eberle were all between 20 and 30. And then they had 3 more with over 10, but so they only had 8. And so, in terms of deep teams, the Oilers have not had very many others in the parity era that were 3 to 4 lines deep of guys that could score at least occasionally. I mean, a 10-goal man is not a major sniper, but having a 10-goal guy playing in your bottom 6 beats the hell out of Colin Fraser and his 2 goals and 3 assists for the season or whatever, right? I mean, you get a little bit of production and you got a lot of grinding, and hopefully you at least break even out of those positions, right?
indeed. Bruce, my number is what's a number I've returned to a few times. It's Jay Woodcroft's winning percentage, points percentage. It's now 716 since he arrived, which is the third highest total for the NHL in that time period since February 10th. He 25 wins in the 37 games, and they go into the playoffs the second hottest team after Calgary in the Western Conference. Calgary being at 750 in terms of points percentage in that same time period. St. Louis is fifth at 703. Colorado sixth at 689. The Wild are at eighth at 667. So those are the 5 teams I think you'd have to be considered the favorites in the playoffs right now in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an incredible feat. It's an incredible feat. I just want to keep hearing La Bamba after every Oilers game.
Play La Bamba, baby.
Yeah.
I see young Ben have his turn on the ice this morning.
It was.
In practice, got a goal. They had him. They had him involved in the 50-50. You know, they're really going the extra mile with that kid, and why not, right? I mean, that gives everyone a warm feeling. 9-0. Play La Bamba, baby.
Play La Bamba, baby. All right, Bruce. Thanks for talking tonight. I'll let you get at it. I know you got to write the game grades here. So
you bet.
All right. Thanks for talking.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And in the meantime, and in between times, this has been another edition of the Cult of Hockey podcast.